The Nigerian government has scrapped the bilateral education agreement scholarship program, calling it a wasteful initiative that funds foreign courses already available in local universities. Education Minister Dr. Tijani made the announcement during a meeting with NAN's leaders in Abuja. He criticized the program as an inefficient use of resources, citing cases where students were sent to Algeria to study English and sociology, fields offered locally. Launched through diplomatic ties, the BEA funded tuition and living costs for Nigerian students in countries like China, Russia, and Egypt. However, the scheme drew backlash in 2024 over unpaid and slashed stipends. Scholars went unpaid for a year with stipends cut from $500 to $220, prompting online protests. Alausa condemned some students for blackmailing the government and revealed he once rejected the 650 million naira request for 60 students, arguing it was unfair to the broader student population. He said 9 billion naira would have been spent in 2025 on just 1,200 BEA scholars. The minister said the funds will now support domestic scholarships with broader impact. Current BEA beneficiaries will be allowed to finish their programs. All right, Dalatu Tijani from the Union of Nigerian Bilateral Education Agreement Scholars is right here to talk to us about the current development on the initiative. Thank you for joining us, Dalatu.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
All right, let's begin with you clarifying for us the current status of stipends for scholars, especially the exact backlog and amount owed. According to reports, scholars are being owed, especially in this report that was just released.
Okay, thank you so much for the opportunity once again, and permit me to take a second to appreciate the federal government as well as the Ministry of Education for giving us this opportunity to state the facts about the scholarship, the stipends, allowance that the government is owing the scholars. So far as of now, the students have not received money from September to December of 2023. There's a backlog of that. And then for the same year, 2023, students received money for 2 months around June 2023. That was for January and February. They also received money for 6 months around September, making it 8 months in total. However, the 6 months that was received in September experienced a shortfall according to the Federal Scholarship Board. That was the explanation they gave to us, that the money, because it stayed in the CBN for a while, so before the CBN transmitted to the various embassies, the dollar exchange rate has gone up, so it could not more cover for the 6 months. So we had a shortfall of 1,123 United States dollars. That's for 2023. Then in 2024, around September, students had to wait for over a year, enduring a lot of hardship and difficulties due to non-payment of rent and other utilities that they owe the landlords and other commitments. So in September, the government paid a total of $220 per month for each scholar. Meanwhile, we are entitled to $500 per month. So there was a shortfall of about 56%. So when we complained, the Federal Scholarship Board sent us this letter. I've shared it with your producer to explain that this shortfall was due to the devaluation of the naira. That the naira was budgeted for at 700, and then at the point of payment, the naira to a dollar was about 1,500. So we could only receive 46% of the total annual payments. However, they clarified that it's just an adjustment and it to be paid. Right now, the monies have not been paid. That of 2023 has not been paid. And then to our surprise, the minister went to make a publication to state that all backlogs have been paid up until December 2024, which is actually not the case. And we have the letter for the shortfall and that of the 2023 that was not paid. So the Scholars Union would love to clarify that situation. And we do not know, because we had a meeting with the director of the Federal Scholarship Board, who will acknowledge the fact that they are still owing for 2023 as well as the shortfall of 2024. So this is the current situation of stipends. And then the monies for January till this this moment has not also been paid to scholars. So scholars are really going through a lot of difficulties, because for some of us in Morocco, we have to pay rent, and then other people also have to feed, we have to transport ourselves, we have debt that we owe our landlords, we owe some people, even some parents, because they don't have the means of taking care of their wards, they have to go outside to borrow money from friends, from colleagues, and even from the banks. And as we speak, we still do not hear anything from the government. All appeals that will be made, the minister have not actually called the students to a round table or to explain to us what the situation is, as well as our parents also have been trying all efforts to see the minister, but it has not yielded any positive results. All communication that we have with the minister was through the press release he made on the 24th of April. So I would love to address the press release to make some facts clear. All right,
before you address the press release, you know, one of the things which, of course, a lot of people have agreed with, the minister said, was that this was in a way to improve or encourage local content. The fact that some of these courses that are being paid for outside the country can be achieved, gotten right here at home in Nigeria. But you mentioned the fact that... Anymore. Oh, you cannot hear me. Can you hear me now?
Hello, I've lost connection with you.
All right, we'll fix that and come back to you, Dalatu. We're still speaking with Dalatu, talking about the stoppage of the BEA in Nigeria come 2025, or rather from 2025. We'll be back to continue the conversation. Welcome back. We're still speaking with Dalatu Tijani from the Union of Nigerian Bilateral Education Agreement Scholars. And of course, he's been talking to us about updates and the hardship that students are facing due to the stoppage of the initiative. Now, Dalatu, as we wrap up, I'd like to know what immediate actions you would like the government to take to address the current situation.
Okay, our immediate plea to the government is to listen to us, scholars, and not just listen to us via social media, but to engage with us. We also have our parents, scholars, the parents of the BEA Scholars Union that have been trying to see the minister. So I believe if you have a one-on-one conversation with the minister as well as his team, it will go a long way in resolving these issues and harmonizing the differences. And then secondly, the immediate release of our stipends, the backlog of the 2023, as well as that of 2024, and this current year, that is January till this moment of 2025, that has not been paid, as well as the restoration of the money to 500, because the money was slashed from 500 to 220 per month, which a student cannot actually survive on it. And I'm glad that the minister in his press statement, he made it clear that the host country can continue to offer scholarship to Nigerian scholars, but on a stipend of 500 per month, which means that the minister have placed a benchmark of 500 per month as the minimum for a student to survive on outside of Nigeria. So we do not see any reason as to why the government will continue to pay less than that particular amount to scholars. And this is also a point of concern for us, because the money budgeted for this 2025, a total of 9 billion for 1,532 students, is still inadequate to cover 500 per month per scholars. And students are going through a lot, like I've said earlier. We have to go now,
Dalatu. We might not have time for other conversations, but thank you so much for your time. We hope that the needful is done.